Hello everyone and welcome to my monthly update for May 2018. So, without further ado, let's get down to everyone's favourite part of the video. So this month's hater of the month comes from the cesspit of all hate that I get. Of course, it's the video on how to sharpen a chisel. And this one comes from Lorraine Toombs. Here is a young boy, ooh, a young boy, eh? Telling tradesmen how to sharpen tools. I have been a joiner for 51 years and think he knows bugger all. Yeah, to be fair, Lorraine, I am a pretty young boy and 51 years, how can I compete against that? I mean, you obviously really know your stuff after 51 years. You know it so well that you've watched a video on how to sharpen a chisel, which is exactly what my response was. I find it funny how after 51 years of being a joiner, you're still looking for videos on how to sharpen chisels. Nice work. Thumbs up. Kiss face. So yeah, that was a fun one. No reply yet, so I think we won. What has happened in May? Well, it seems like an absolute lifetime ago, but Makers Central was this month, like at the very start. And I've already done a video saying thank you, but thank you again. It was such a good weekend. It was great to meet you guys. It was great to meet other YouTubers and people who I've spoken to over the months or however long I've been doing this. Yeah, it was just such a good weekend. Nick absolutely smashed the ball out the park. Is that how you say it? Hit the ball out the park. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. If you missed it this year, I'm sure, almost certain they'll do it again because it was such a success. Even though there wasn't a lot of exhibitors there, it was the people that made it. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. So why are we off to the side to start with? We're making a bass guitar. So if you're not watching that, then it's here. So at the moment I've got the Buckeye gluing on top of the body and the Buckeye gluing on top of the headstock, and I've finished for today because I can't really do a lot else. But yeah, for those of you who aren't watching this, a lot of people who aren't even into luthiery or even playing guitar, they're still enjoying watching the build series. So yeah, if you fancy giving it a go, first video is up here, which should just come out the side, and yeah, you can click that. I'm definitely loopy. I've just had a bit of a mad day gluing all this up. So yeah, that is the bass guitar series. We're currently on part 15 or 16, depending on when this video goes up. Yes, I've just written it down on here as well. I left a challenge for my viewers on, which part was it? Part 14, because in that video, I wore shorts for the first time while doing a project, and yeah, I've got quite pale legs at the moment. I wear black jeans most of the time. It hasn't been too sunny, and when it has been sunny, I've been in here, so haven't been able to get that tan going on. So I braced myself for some insults, but in the end I just thought I'll embrace it, and I left a challenge for people to give me their best insult. And let me tell you, I was wetting myself at some of these. A couple of my favourites here. Cento Lira. Matt, I needed to wear my welding helmet when your shockingly white legs made an appearance. I'm not sure I'll ever recover. LeJackal Creation said, okay, I know you said no commenting on them, but those things aren't pale. Those things are ghostly. I didn't see this one. Nardok ODB. Damn boy, your legs are whiter than eating no spicy food. Oh, this is brilliant. I need to do this more often. Philip O'Brien, great video, Matt, but what legs? I thought you'd bought some mozzarella cheese strings along for a snack. Oh, hang on, one more here. Sam Gordon. Sam's been watching me a while now. I always recognise his profile picture because it's hair that I would love to have. Your legs are so white, it's like looking at a urinal with a torso on top. I need to do that more often. I got such a laugh from that. But thanks for that, guys. Much appreciated. What else did I do? I did a talk the other day at the Southern Fellowship of Woodworkers. I haven't got any footage of it, but basically I went there just to talk about how I got into woodworking. So I spoke about what I did at Rycotewood, a few of the projects there, and what I'm doing now, which was quite interesting because about 80% of the audience there was of a much older generation than I am, and I didn't think that explaining what I do now would kind of connect with them, because we all know there's kind of this disconnect between the older generation and this whole YouTube thing. But I went there, explained it, and got such good engagement for it. So yeah, that was just really fulfilling, and they were really welcoming of me as well. So I'll put a link to the Southern Fellowship of Woodworkers website. Third attempt to get that right. I'll put that in the description below. So if you're in the sort of south of England area, they meet up every now and then, and it's a good way to meet other people who are into the same hobby as you. And hopefully I'll be doing more stuff with them in the future. And another thing that happened this month, well, actually it hasn't happened this month, it happened the past 3 months. I have been writing an article for Furniture and Cabinet Making magazine about how to make I just stabbed myself on the nut of the guitar. That's where I stored it. We all remember that, yeah? That quite hurt. I've been writing an article on how to make this joint practice frame, and if you haven't seen this video and you want to know how to cut a lot of hand cut joints and learn a lot of layout methods in the process, playlist is up here for making this. But the third article for furniture and cabinet making, is that going to stay? Yeah. Third article for furniture and cabinet making has just been posted, and yeah, that was really cool. Ever since starting at Rycotewood and stuff, I've always wanted to write an article for a magazine, and yeah, it was really cool. Got 3 of them. So I should have notified you guys before that they were being posted. But if anyone is here as a result of reading these, then hello, it is nice to have you here. So what other videos have I posted this month? Basically, it's all been the bass guitar, other than one video, which was how to use a chisel, which is something I've been planning to do for ages. A lot of you found that useful, which is really good to know. So the link for that is up here. Basically filmed it after watching my students at my evening classes struggle with using a chisel, because it's something I forgot that there was a learning curve to using a chisel. Like, from what I remember, I just remember picking it up and it working. But if I really think about it, I really struggled with using a chisel to start with. So that video is for those people. Quick update on that. Let me just get one out. In the video, I mentioned about holding the chisel down the bottom like this, as opposed to at the handle. I've had a couple people say that they've cut themselves doing this, which does happen. If you have a good quality chisel, the bevels on them will come down to a very fine point on the edge of the chisels. I won't explain this in depth now because it is literally an entire video to explain it, but the link to that video is up here. I think it's what chisels do you need or something like that. But this acute angle here allows you to get into the corner of dovetails. So if that corner is sharp, it means that you can get even further into the corner without bruising the wood. But if you find that you're cutting yourself doing this, there's 3 things you can do. Now, I remember saying there was 3 things, but I can only remember 2 of them now. So the first one was to get some 400 grit sandpaper or even finer and rip off a small square of it and literally run that up the bottom corner of the chisel once. No more than that, just once like that, and take that edge off. That will give you a very, very tiny round over on there that will be a little bit more difficult to cut yourself with. The second one, make sure you're not gripping the chisel too hard. It kind of seems obvious, but when you're holding it up by the handle here, it's okay to grip it hard. But when you're down here, you need to hold it with a loose grip, like literally the same force as a pencil. You're just holding the chisel in place. You don't need to be squeezing it, because as soon as you squeeze it, it's not cutting at this point, but when you whack it with a mallet, you're pressing your finger into that corner, and yes, you are going to cut yourself in not a very nice place. And the third option is, it's a simple one, just wait it out. Keep going with it, eventually your skin will harden up and stuff, and yeah, you will stop cutting yourself. But to be honest, if you just follow those first 2 methods, you shouldn't cut yourself anyway, so it should be fine. So following on from the chisel video, obviously I've done how to saw correctly, how to chisel correctly. I might do one on how to plane correctly. Now, I know this is probably milking it a little bit, like a plane. Once you've got it set up and once you know how to square up timber, there's not a lot you can do wrong with it. But I do think there are a few things to be said about stance and pressure and things like that. So I'm going to think up a few points to say over the next few days, weeks or something like that, and maybe get a video out depending if I get enough together, because I think a few people will benefit from that. Again, when I'm teaching classes, I do see people, they're just sort of like attacking the wood with a plane, not really thinking about how they're holding it, and yeah. I think there's a few things to be said there, but I'm going to work it out. And another video that I'm thinking about doing, but I still haven't thought of enough things to say in it, is alternative wood finishing. This is not going to be a video on how to apply oil finishes, how to apply wax finishes, varnishes, or anything like that. It's going to be alternative finishes that you wouldn't think of straight away. Now, I know a couple of the ones that I'm going to do, but I want to get about 5 in there. So I think what I'm going to do is have 2 that I've done before, well, 2 or 3 finishes that I know will work, and then another 2 or 3 that are experimental. I'm just going to try them on camera, see if I can get them to work, and go from there. So as an example for alternative wood finishing, one of them is going to be using this thing, which I've done on a project once, and the finish on it was amazing. It's not just burning it. I did a few things to it afterwards to take it to that extra level, and yeah, really want to share it with you, and I want to use this thing again. So that is pretty much it for all of these videos. However, before you go, what you might see in my videos is that I'm either wearing my top with my logo on it around here, which I will be selling soon, keep an eye out, or I'm wearing this one, which is by a company called One Planet Apparel. What they do is they make 100% cotton t-shirts, all fair trade, and they are absolutely lovely. They're not sponsoring this video because I'm not getting any money from it. I just really like them, and I wanted to help them out sell some things because, yeah, they're absolutely lovely. So they're going to be doing a 20% off sale for your first order. The link is in the description to it, and they come in black, white, burgundy. You got t-shirts, you got hoodies, you got some with the big logos on the front, all sorts. But yeah, the quality on them is lovely. But yeah, like I said, I will also be selling a limited amount of my logo t-shirts as well as stickers as well. Those will be coming in stock. They're on order at the moment. Hopefully they should arrive in the next few weeks. But that is it for this monthly update. See you in the next video.